Okay, we're on Ketubot, Perek Tet, Mishnah Tet. Ninth and last Mishnah in Masechet Ketubot, Perek Tet, chapter 9 of Masechet Ketubot. The Mishnah says, Hotzi'a get ve'inimo ketubah. Let's say a woman comes and produces a get, but she doesn't have a ketubah. Gova ketubata. Then she is able to pay her get, but she's able to get a ketubah. Why? The Mishnah said, what's this talking about the Bartanura? Bimkom she'en kotvin ketubah, v'somchin al t'nai beitin. If this is obviously talking about a place where they didn't write ketubot, right? And the husband doesn't have a shovar, he doesn't have a receipt. Meaning, she says, listen, we got divorced, we don't write ketubot, you owe me the 200 or 100 zuz. She has the right to be paid, because that's called the Tanai Beitin. Even without a ketubah, it was considered a fundamental, we're going to see, it was considered a fundamental practice in marriage. Ketubah ve'eni ma get. Okay, what happens if she has a ketubah, but she doesn't have the get? He omeret avad giti, who omer avad shovri. But she says, listen, I lost my get. Meaning, I have the ketubah, but I don't have the get. I was divorced, but he didn't pay me yet. And he says, no, I paid you, but I lost my shovar, I lost my receipt. Okay, v'chein. Furthermore, Baal chov shotzi shtar chov. A person produces a shtar, a contract of a debt. A guy owes me $1,000, but it's after Shemitah. Ve'eni mo prosbo, but he doesn't have a prosbo. He didn't write a prosbo. He doesn't have one that says that he transferred the debt to the Beit Din in order to pass through the Shemitah year. Hare'elu lo yipareu. And they aren't paid. Why aren't they paid? Because they can't prove it. Amotzi michavero. They have to prove that they were not paid. Let's look at the Bartanura. Hare'elu lo yipareu. Chayshinan shema kvar gavta ketubata. We say maybe she was already paid. V'zeh hishmitato shvi'it. And this the guy with the debt who didn't write that prusbo. He doesn't have a prusbo. Hishmitato shvi'it. Shvi'it canceled out his loan. You can't pay a loan if Shemitah canceled. And if you can't prove that Shemitah that wasn't canceled through a prusbo, sorry. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel omer. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel says, min hasakana ve'elach. Fascinating term. From the time of danger and onward, isha govak ketubata below get. Uba'al chov goveh shelo beprusbo. A woman could be paid her ketubah even without a get. She can't produce the get. Prove you're divorced? No. Ba'al chov goveh shelo beprusbo. A debtor can be paid even without prusbo. What is sakana? Shegazu goyim ala mitzvot. They made a gzeira on mitzvot. Vayu yireim lishmor gitehem. They were afraid to keep their get, to keep their divorces. When she got it, she would burn it. They would do the things, but they were subject to search and seizure, and they would come in and say, "What are you doing?" It's very humbling when you read these, like in the Mishnah, that you have this idea that they had to deal with these times when the Romans would come and they made a gzeira and says, "No, you can't keep Torah." And so this is enshrined in the Mishnah. People trying to keep Jewish life. Okay? Mina sakana ve'elach, this time of danger, trying to keep Jewish life, but burning documents of any proof that they kept the Jewish life. So you had to trust them. The halacha had to adjust for the needs of the day. New topic. Shnei gitin v'shnei ketubot. A woman produced 2 gitin and 2 ketubot. Meaning she married a guy, he divorced her. He gave her another ketubah and she married her and she divorced her. Gova shtei ketubot. He owes her twice. Why does he owe her twice? When she got divorced, he owed her once. She got remarried, he gave her another ketubah, he owes her twice. But, shtei ketubot ve'get echad. That means, okay, he gave her a ketubah, one divorce, and then one get. I.e., meaning, he gave her a ketubah, and then he wrote her another ketubah. It's not that she lost her or whatever. Okay? Meaning, the two ketubot, were, the date of them is before the get. O, ketubah u'shnei gitin. He wrote her a ketubah, and then subsequent to that, he divorced her, and then he divorced her again. O ketubah veget umita. Or, she had a ketubah, and then he gave her divorce, and then they remarried, and then she died, and then he died, not she. Eina gova ela ketubah achat. Okay, she only gets one ketubah. Because when a man remarries his wife, almana ketubah harishona machzira. He's doing it on the condition, meaning with the intention of relying on the first ketubah. So let's go back to these two cases. So if he wrote her shtei ketubot specifically, then you can't say, well, I only wanted to give her one ketubah. And if he wrote the second ketubah and there's only one get, they're all predated. So you go by, I guess, the second one or whatever, the bigger one. That's a halachic question. But if he writes her a ketubah and then there's 2 gitin, she can't say, well, I want a new ketubah. When he gave her a ketubah, and then when he remarried her the second time, similarly, right, he is assuming the first ketubah. Or he gave her a ketubah and then he divorced her and then he remarried her and then he died. Similarly, the same case. Why? Because almanah ketubah rishona machzira. New case. Katan shehisiyo aviv. Father married the child off when he was a minor. And there's an obvious ketubah. Ketubah kayemet. When he gets older, he says, I don't want to give her that money. No. Shalmanah ken kiyama. Because when he kept her, when he stayed in the marriage, when he became an adult at bar mitzvah, it's on the condition of the ketubah. Similarly, Gershon itkayer v'ishto imo, a couple, they're non-Jewish, and they both convert together. Ketubata kayem is really interesting. It tells you something about ketubah. They had a ketubah from before. Then they get divorced. The ketubah is kayemed. It stays. Sha'amanat ken kiyama. Because when they stayed married, it's really interesting. He stayed married, intending to uphold the idea of the ketubah. And it's really interesting. It tells you a few things. First of all, okay, that they had a ketubah, that many non-Jews, or some non-Jews at least, had a ketubah. A ketubah it's not a religious document, it's a monetary document. It's not like a kedusha document, it's a contract. So non-Jews also have contracts. Similarly, even if they remarried, they would have to remarry after the giyur, but that remarriage is almanah ken kiyama. It's based on the original ketubah that they wrote for each other, that he wrote for her when they were non-Jewish. We'll stop here and dedicate our learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Have a good day.